All right. So today I will be explaining the mobile exploitation attack. So for most attacks on the mobile platform, it is ranked in the top 10 list by OWASP. They are a non-profit organization in the US. They made a list back in 2014. They updated in 2016, and now they are working for a new one in 2023. So the slide will be based on the 2016 version. So first is the improper platform usage. It is an easy attack vector as any exposed API inside the mobile can be served as attack vector, usually through platform features such as Android Intents or Apple's Touch ID or any security control that is part of the mobile OS. And then moving on. So insecure data. So usually for this method of attack, you would be if the mobile is available to you physically and you can plug it in into a computer, you can use multiple softwares, free softwares to see all third-party apps directories that has personally identifiable information. So for example, if you plug in the Android mobile phone, you can see all of the files that you can grab with the information. Next is insecure communication, usually between data transfers, whether it is using your mobile data or you're on a public Wi-Fi. People usually, if the connection is not secure, a threat actor could intercept those data packets, and they could use it for their own benefit, or maybe your device has already been infected with a malware. They could also intercept their data packets that way. Next is insecure authentication. So if there's a vulnerability in the authentication scheme, they would fake or bypass the authentication by submitting directly to the backend server instead of using the main page. And usually this is done by using mobile malware or using botnets. Next is insecure cryptography. So for this, you also have to have a physical access to the data that is not encrypted properly, or the data is encrypted, is infected with malware. So the threat actor, in this case, has to return the encrypted code to its original unencrypted due to the weak encryption, or maybe there are flaws or there are vulnerabilities during the encryption process. And number 6, insecure authorization. Before this, there was insecure authentication, but this time they go through the usual authentication, but then they will force browse into a vulnerable endpoint and then execute administrative functionality, usually also with a mobile malware or with botnets. Next is client code quality. This is a difficult way as an attack vector, but it is done by relaying specially crafted inputs into the victim. These inputs will then stay inside the mobile device until the exploitation takes place. It will then exploit memory leaks and buffer overflows. One example of this is back then during the old Opera browsers with their buffer overflows. Next is code tampering, which is also a difficult attack vector. So basically, you have to study the code itself and then make direct changes to the app's core binary. By doing this, you can basically redirect or replace any API to be intercepted and secure as foreign code. You could also make direct binary changes to the resources as well within the app. For number 9 is reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is basically you're studying an app or the mobile device without the use of its own source code. You have to research it from nothing. You have to find out what is the source code itself. So basically, they will have to determine the string table, source code, libraries, algorithms, all that from the app. So by doing it this way, they could potentially find vulnerabilities and then take it from that angle instead. And finally, through the use of extraneous function. So the attacker will study a mobile app in its own environment, in their own environment. So basically, let's say we have this app and we study all the logs files, the configuration files, and the binary itself to study if there is a hidden mechanic or test code left behind by the devs, which is not supposed to be exposed to the users. So they use these exploits to perform the attack on the backend system. And that is all for my part. So all of this, you can check it out on OWASP website. They're still making a new one and it's still in progress for 2023. And that's all from me. Thank you.